and welcome back to a brand new Connective3 video. Today we're going to be covering the importance of creative, and I'm joined by Sarah and Claire.
Thanks for having us. I'm Sarah Byrne. I'm the Director of Agency Partners for Google.
And I'm Claire Stanley-Manock, the Chief Strategy Officer at Connective3.
So to kick us off, in your opinion, how important do you think creative is to a PPC account?
Oh, it's the heart and soul. It is the heart and soul. If you think of the PPC as a fishing rod, creative is the bait that goes on the end of it, right? You put that fishing rod into the water and just hope for the best, or you put something really engaging that people connect with, and we absolutely see it make a difference. So strong creative can get 10 times the click-through rate than other ads. So yeah, I'd say pretty important.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Just a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Makes a huge, huge difference. And I think one of the important things with it is to play with it and to test and to try out different ad copy, and what works with one person isn't going to work with the next person. So we just need to make sure that we've got something for everyone in our ad copy, because it can really make the massive difference between who engages with it and who doesn't, which of course makes perfect sense when you think that it's the thing that you see. So
yeah, no, for sure. And speaking about ad copy, what are your top tips for strong ad copy?
At Connective3, we lean a lot into the different sort of social biases that we have. We do lots of testing against the sort of 6 or 7 key frameworks, which were given to us by Google, I think about 2 years ago. So we're constantly testing things like Trustpilot reviews, like thousands of customers say this, or it's a which Best Buy, or the awards that something's won, the accreditations. But we also try out things like buy today to get a free sample, or next day delivery, or only 10 remaining, and all these different things which we know as people we respond to. And it's just thinking as a consumer, what is it that would make me engage and purchase, and then working that into a framework and putting that into our ad copy.
And I think as well, just the basics on great communication, clarity, like get to the point quickly and concisely. And then also emotion, don't, tell people you can make their teeth whiter tomorrow, ask them if they want a beautiful smile. Like, it's just simples on kind of clarity and emotion would be classic top tips.
Yeah, for sure. And how does this differentiate from any top tips for the more visual formats?
That's a great question, because in a way it doesn't differentiate massively. You still need emotion, you still need clarity, you still need to get there. But I think the obvious difference for me is the aesthetics, right? Visuals are visuals, and the brain, processes visuals 60,000 times faster than text. I think that's an actual fact. It's really appealing, and so what you're showing versus what you're saying. And then obviously in the visual world, movement is better than static. So video is huge for a reason, and that we retain an awful lot more through kind of motion graphics. So I think, show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said it a second ago about emotion being like so important for performance. And what better way to show emotion than through visuals and videos. And then you've also got things like the music that goes over the top. I don't know about you guys, but like a good John Williams score over the top of Jurassic Park can have you like almost in tears. So adding music to things like that, I think, helps massively too. Something that we've actually been testing a lot at Connective3 is the signals that go into creative. So things like the file name and getting keywords into the file name, using voiceovers that use certain keywords, having certain visuals on screen, and of course the copy that goes with it, and having the keywords into that as well, so that we're telling the platforms exactly what this ad's about, so it can then go out and find people more efficiently. So on top of the actual messaging that you put into it and the psychology behind that, there's some levers that you can pull as well to make it just perform that little bit harder.
Yeah,
love that.
For sure. So what do you think is more powerful? Maintaining a consistent ad for memorability, or refreshing creatives to avoid creative fatigue?
Ad recall typically runs out after 4 weeks, right? That is a typical lifespan. So I think it's a little bit like a wardrobe, right? You need your classic pieces that never go away. They're always on brand, but then you're bringing in fresh updates all the time. You don't have to throw everything out, but you do need to keep bringing in new bits of interest?
I'd say you've got to have that common thread. I think prime example, McDonald's Golden Arches. It's like they haven't strayed from that since day one. Coca-Cola have always maintained that it's refreshing. They haven't changed their brand look like massively. They've done refreshers to it, but they haven't changed it massively. Tesco's Every Little Helps has always been there for as long as I can remember. But that's not to say that you can't have different campaigns around that. So you can change the ad, you can make it graphic designed, you can have it as lifestyle, you can have it as, I don't know, something funny or something serious, or the John Lewis Christmas ad. But you've got to maintain that brand look, feel, brand ethos, brand recognition, because to build that takes time, and to change that overnight would be incredibly expensive.
No, definitely. So on to the final question. I know, Claire, you mentioned a bit about this before. So do you think that including keywords in voiceovers, copy and design overlays helps the algorithms, and which one do you think has the biggest impact?
Technical one.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, as I said sort of earlier, it does make like a massive difference, because everything in the sort of AI world, you know, you've got PowerPair, you've got PMAX, you've got demand gen, you've got YouTube, they're all sort of AI driven. We need to be providing the signals to those algorithms as to what we're doing and what success looks like and what we're talking about and who we want to target, whether that's through CRM lists, whether that's through the pixels on site, or whether that's through the creative itself. And also landing pages tends to get forgotten too. And to sort of empower it with all those different things makes a difference, because if the algorithms know who to target, they can do it more efficiently, you get more reach, you get more cost effective, you can target your audience more specifically. It's all ways to drive growth and efficiency. In terms of which one's most important, I don't know, I think there's a lot more testing to be done yet in that space, but I'm going to say for now, probably the copy and the keywords.
I think you're probably right. The keywords, we talk about digital marketing a lot as kind of art and science, right? And this conversation's a classic example of that. Keywords are like the ingredients, and then voiceovers are like the seasoning that goes over the top. So
Yeah.
It all needs to work.
Yeah, 100%, all needs to work together. I think we will see things like the imagery, the video, and the voiceovers come into their own, and I think definitely an area for development.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was really insightful. Thank you so much to Sarah and Claire for joining us. And if you'd like to find out more about our paid performance offerings here at Connective3, please visit connective3.com.